Hello everyone, this is PNG Tonight. Thank you for tuning in. I'm John Higgins. Tonight, the aftermath of the university students' boycott of lectures that ultimately led to violence. Chief Secretary to Government, Ambassador Isaac Lupari, says the main concern at this point is for the students to return to lectures. Jaheb Akia looks at the week that was, the students' boycott, the protest, the police reactions, and what the government intends to do next.
More than a month into the boycott of classes by UPNG students, and there is not a formidable end to this issue in the near future. The boycott of classes was in protest against the Prime Minister Peter O'Neill to step down from office and answer to allegations of misconduct and corruption against him. This includes the case of payments to Paraka lawyers, the UBS loan, and the downfall of the country's economy. The Prime Minister has since responded in a 10-page document addressing each of the issues that the students had mentioned in their petition. The saga turned nasty on Tuesday when students intending to conduct a protest march to Parliament had a confrontation with police, resulting in about 23 students being injured. The following day, the National Security Advisory Council convened a meeting to deliberate on this issue and actions that will be taken to address it. The Advisory Council is made up of departmental heads of the National Planning, Treasury, Finance, Foreign Affairs, and the heads of the three disciplinary forces. It advises the government on what actions to take relating to national security. Chief Secretary to Government Isaac Lupari said a full inquiry will be launched to get to the bottom of this issue. An NEC directive has been given and the inquiry is expected to begin as soon as the terms of references are in order and Cabinet approval has been given. The inquiry is expected to be made public during the course of the investigations.
But he's also advised the Council that he has also instituted the investigation into what has happened in the campus at University of Papua New Guinea, and they will carry out investigation whether there were some abuse of powers and how that the clash between the police and the student arose yesterday. But according to the report that he has given to us, it must be normal, but because of fear of opportunists taking advantage of the situation, we are understanding that some schools have been closed, some shops have been closed. But the announcement has already been made by the Prime Minister that there will be inquiry. Our job now is to make sure all the paperwork are done and proper processes followed to establishment of the inquiry.
The Chief Secretary says staging of protests or public gatherings is a person's constitutional right. But on the other hand, it has to be done in a responsible manner, in the sense that it does not incite violence or endanger the public or properties. Mr. Lupari maintained the government's stance that the boycott of classes by UPNG students has been illegal since the beginning, as it violates the UPNG and the SRC Acts. The call now is for students to return to classes and for normalcy to return since the UPNG Council has already revised its academic calendar and there is also a court order being issued for classes to resume. To the students, Mr. Lupari said there is the government which has invested a lot in education and more importantly the parents to consider when conducting such protests. He pointed out the fact that parents have invested a lot in them, and this should be taken into consideration apart from the fact that students are at the university to get an education.
The students have the freedom to express themselves. We have seen that over the last 4 to 5 weeks. And what we've been told by the Vice Chancellor and his people is that their conduct from day one has been illegal. As far as the University Act is concerned, as far as the SRC Act is concerned. they are also concerned that it has also affected the liberties of other students who want to go to school. So we're encouraging the University Council to make sure the kids go back to school. We were also briefed this morning that the National Court issued a court order yesterday against the SRC, its agency, its servants, from boycotting the classes and also interfering with the rights of our kids who want to go to school. We are also told that the University Council will also release a statement that order will be enforced.
Police Commissioner Gary Baki says normalcy has returned to most parts of the city, but police are still closely monitoring the situation to ensure peace is maintained both in Port Moresby and other major centers like Lae and Mount Hagen. The Police Commissioner provided a report of Tuesday's events and its impacts on the city. He said the city is slowly getting back to its normal routines and businesses have also opened their doors to the public. For the law enforcement sector, internal police investigations will also be conducted into police actions apart from the main inquiry, according to Mr. Baki.
Insofar as the issues of law and order around, particularly within Port Moresby, the impact of what has happened yesterday has a direct effect on the business community within the city as well as the traveling public, and this has not been overcome as I'm addressing you now. Buses have not gone into Geregu at this point in time. There's one or two that are gradually going in. Apart from other parts of the city, normalcy has taken its place. Shops are open, businesses come back to as usual, and it's important that the public must go back to the normal day-to-day activities as they normally do. In Lae, the situation is very quiet. This morning, just about 15 minutes ago, I was able to communicate with the Metropolitan Superintendent over there. Within the university campuses, it's quiet. He was informed that the students are now congregating within their provincial groups to sit down and discuss what are the next possible approaches that they will take. So I will leave that. In other parts of the country, there is no major incident apart from what has been reported in Mount Hagen, which is attributed to, I can comfortably say, is a result of what has been projected in the social media.
There have also been reports of UPNG students receiving outside funding support in carrying out the boycotts and protests, and this will also be investigated. The UPNG students maintain that they will continue their boycott, but with the adjournment of Parliament to the 2nd of August, there is no clear indication as to what may transpire in the near future. According to the UPNG Council, next week Tuesday has been marked for normal classes to begin, but whether the students adhere to it is something that we will have to wait and see.
Jahab Akia with that report. After the break, the Prime Minister on the same.